Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Live Lounge, brought to you by the Block 9 podcast, of course. Interesting, busy week. Good sort of Tuesday night football. Well, good. We dropped 2 points. We'll come to that in the show in a minute. But Carl and Andy are with me tonight. Gavin is suffering a little bit of, I've got a bit of man flu, so can't make it on tonight. So, he's come down with a bit of a cold. So, last thing we need is for him to spread those germs all over the podcast and to you, our wonderful audience. So, Carl, evening to you. How's your week been? Back at work on the night shifts again, haven't you? So,
busy again, mate. Hospital's just rammed at the moment. Usual winter pressures. I won't get into any of the politics, but yes, it's been busy. Got a few nights off again now, so looking forward to the game on Saturday and watch along.
Yeah, no, it should be good. It should be good. See, we can maintain, Andy, that winning run, certainly unbeaten run, and maintain that not just away, but for the January so far. So, yeah, how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, it's been okay. I've got a little bit of back problem, but I'm all right. It's just why I'm still. I've got a board behind me. No, I haven't. No, I'm just a bit stiff in the lower back. I don't think Ben Pepple helped me on Tuesday night. when I was celebrating his goal, I just jumped up quite quickly. And I remembered it was sore. But yeah, other than that, I'm fine.
No, well, it is a bit of a sort of busy agenda tonight, folks, but I can see there's a few in. I'll come to that in a moment. So, as always, without further ado, let's kick things off. So, Tuesday night saw Plymouth Argyle welcome Stockport County to a soaking wet and windswept home park. Despite the torrential conditions, there was nothing flat about Argyle's start. For most of the first half, they controlled the game and carved out some excellent chances. One of those, as Andy just said, was taken in style by the ever-improving and impressing me every game, Bim Pepple, who confidently fired home from outside the box after driving forward to give Argyle a deserved lead. But 2 or 3 other big chances were going begging. Argyle couldn't find that crucial second goal, and they were made to pay. Mansfield level points with Argyle in the league began to grow into the game late in the half, and just before the break, grabbed a deflected equaliser, a frustrating way to go in at half-time. The second half matched the weather, scrappy, disjointed and lacking rhythm. Late chances fell to both sides, but neither could find the moment to steal all 3 points. The major talking point, though, was the referee, James Finney from Luton, a performance that will live long in the memory for all the wrong reasons. And sadly, another example of the standard we are seeing far too often in League One. So, tonight's show, we will bring you the panel's thoughts on that game, of course, the goals, the highlights, plus a little bit of a player focus on Bim Pepple, post-match reactions, and then we turn our attention to the next game, Stockport County away, where we preview that. We digest the press conference quotes and injury updates and get all of the thoughts from the panel. And don't forget, we will also be joined later by Heather Hughes. Yes, with all the latest from the Plymouth Argyle women's team after that big win on Sunday. So, yeah, plenty to get through tonight. So let's crack on with everything. Just going to, before I do that, gents, let's just see who's landed in the comments. Michael Hawkes was in very early at 8 o'clock. Keen as mustard. Evening, everyone. He says, hope everyone is well. Mike is the Reading fan, just to remind you all. Baz in the cloud. Don't recognise that tag. So evening to you. Really enjoyable first half. The second half, okay, but not much intensity. Great to see them being a nuisance with tackles and coming away with the ball. Ref poor, especially not giving clear-cut penalties. Dad the Jana, evening to you all. He says, evening as well. Kami Tarasaki. Hello, everyone, he says. We've got spicy wedges. I just love that every time I read it out. Evening, lads, up the Argyle, he says. And Argyle 83 is, without Gavin, an ode to, he says, evening wet wipes. Larry from Boston, Plymouth, Massachusetts, excuse me. Sorry, Larry, says, evening to you, gents. Robbed of 3 points, Cammy says as well, versus Mansfield. The referee was so bad. Alex is in as well, and he's retweeted the show on X. Thank you for that, Alex. He says, oh, hello there, guys. Matt Montgomery, he says, hiya, Mike, Carl, Andrew. You got your name right this time.
You didn't
Carl.
call me Alex. I don't know where he get. I don't know where he gets Alex from.
Carl is to Matt as Alex. What a great spell from 12th minute to the 38th. Could and should have been 3-0 up in that period. Felt we punched ourselves out of the second half. Don't forget, we did have those injuries as well. Andy Prowse is also in. He says, evening, everyone. Looking forward to some brightness in the miserable evening. That weather is still poor out there. Alex jokingly saying, new signing is Robbie Keane. There is no real news on signings at the moment. Argyle Day says, evening, gents. Evening to you. Stevie Vaughan's in as well, saying, evening, Argyle. Family stuck at work again. But yet we managed to keep him occupied and entertained on the show. Peter Henwood's also in. Perhaps we should have VAR in the lower leagues, embarrassing the referee. Well, we will come on to more of that in a moment. I'll read out a couple more as they come firing in. Andrew T is back in. Bim Pepple's #1 fan, and we do have a small segment on him tonight, Andrew. He says, if he's from Luton, surely he shouldn't be doing League One. Well, there is that. And Michael Hawkes also saying, was the ref James Finney from Luton or Mozza from Luton? Yeah, Mozza had to suffer that embarrassment coming back on the show on Saturday. HLP agents, I think that says, excited to see you all later. What else have we got here? Oh, when you say later, what do you know that we don't know? What else have we got in here?
That's heaven, Mike.
Voodoo's in. Evening to you, Voodoo. He said, why isn't the Luton lad on tonight? Well, we don't have an opposition fan on tonight, Voodoo.
He was on Tuesday night, wasn't he? The referee.
Yeah, he wasn't with us on Saturday, Voodoo, but because he just didn't want to see that Luton fan again. Oh, hang on, what we got here? Adds Kalesp. Saturday no longer the foregone conclusion. It might have been a couple of months ago. I think we can look forward to a decent game. Yeah, absolutely. So let's just come into it. Keep your comments flowing, folks. And just a shout out for support, as always, because you're all brilliant. We're about 9 away from hitting 600 subs on YouTube, which is massive for as we grow. So do what you can to share it around and see if we can hit that magic mark before the watch along, Carl, maybe on Saturday.
Indeed.
So HLP agents is, I've probably got that wrong, but it's Heather. So thank you for that, putting that in the private chat. So Carl, come to you then. Saturday night, it was wet, windy, it was horrible. Glad I wasn't out on the pitch, but it was a brilliant start from Argyle, wasn't it?
You mean Tuesday night?
That's the one. That's exactly what I meant. At least someone switched on.
Mansfield, not Stockport.
I was going to say Saturday night. Yeah. Going into the game, I think all of us were pretty confident. Maybe started the game really well. First half, I thought again we looked really bright, positive. Took the game to Mansfield. Their keeper had an absolute blinder first half. A couple of really decent saves. Really glad for Bim starting to really show his worth now with a run of games. He looked really physical. He looked strong, which, when he was coming off the bench early on in the season, maybe he just didn't have enough time to showcase that, and maybe a bit of confidence as well. I thought he was losing the ball regularly, not using his size to his advantage. But the last few games, he's really started to cement his place with Asenia being out, and yeah, he was impressive. He reminded me a bit like a younger Akinfenwa, just using his muscle to hold the ball up, and even showed a bit of pace. Linked up with Caleb really well up front, who put in another shift as a kind of like a false nine. And yeah, we boarded with a fantastic goal, cracking shot. Could have scored another in the first half. And then the second half was a bit iffy, a bit
Scrappy, will it?
A bit scrappy, that's the word I'm looking for. And then obviously with the time wasting and then the substitutions later on in the game, we had a couple of chances, but the game just wasn't flowing. Obviously, we'll get onto the referee later, but it was all about him. I thought on Tuesday night he just didn't want any flow to the game. He was pulling up our players for really, really poor, just using their bodies, using their strength. As soon as we fell down, it was a free kick to Mansfield, and when our players fell down, it wasn't given. He was very, very biased. And obviously, we came to find out he was from Luton. Whether that was anything to do with the game the previous weekend, I don't know. But he was one of the worst refs I've probably seen in a number of years. And we do get poor refs most weekends, but he took the biscuit. But yeah, I mean, I took 4 points before the 2 home games, so I'm quite happy. If we drew with Luton and beat Mansfield, it might feel a bit more positive. But I thought in both games we certainly deserved the 4 points. Probably deserved the 6 points with the first half showing, but I don't think we did enough with our chances, and obviously the Mansfield keeper kept them in it. So yeah, we move on to Stockport.
Yeah, I think it's as cleverly said. Not quote for quote, but almost lucky he wasn't in the dugout for that game.
He'd have been done for GBH if he was. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, he would have.
Wouldn't have blamed him. Wouldn't have blamed him. I'm sure the fan base would have chipped in for his fine.
Yeah, a season-long ban from the touchline. We'll come on to the ref in a minute, but Andy, the thing with that first half, it was we had no Joe Rules because obviously he was ruled out after early in the Luton game. A couple more weeks to go, maybe we'll see what was said in the presser. We were also missing obviously Lauren Talai with that dead leg, and also Brendan Wiredu we were unsure about, but obviously did come into play. So you're missing your sort of experienced, solid man in midfield with Joe Rules, but it felt like, Argyle just dealt with it. And you can see those confidence levels, Andy, were high, weren't they, in that first half?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had the spine of the team more or less taken out with Hazard as well, and with Rolls in the centre, pulling the strings until I up front. We looked... I thought we didn't look too bad, actually. I thought we were going to look a lot more disjointed than we actually did, but we didn't. I thought we played really well first half. Could and should have got in about 3 up rather than 1 up. But, it's just one of those, isn't it? You get those opportunities to go forward, and Bim's taking his chance, gone forward, hitting a nice low effort in there. And, so just a pity we couldn't hold on. We got the equaliser. It's a dodgy equaliser, and people are blaming the keeper. You can't blame the keeper.
Could have stopped it before it got to Luca. To be honest, I don't think he did much wrong in Mansfield's game.
He was unsighted, Carl, wasn't he? There's no way he's going
to
see that through a whole lot of bodies, and it just trickled over the line, didn't it?
It's just on that one, Andy, from like our angle where we are in obviously block 9. I mean, go figure, folks. It looked like Galloway to me was pulled back, and as the ball was chipped back into the box, it seemed to be either him or the Mansfield player got a nick to it, and it just deflected it past Hammond. We've got the goal highlights, and I'll bring it up. But my mate
Galloway, didn't it? In the end.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my mate in work, Sean, if you're watching, was sort of, he plays in goal, and he was sort of saying to me how he felt Hammond's positioning wasn't great. But you can see, and you'll see it in the reel, where he does sort of come to expect a early cross, goes to adjust to go back, and he just almost gets caught.
Lack of communication again, wasn't there? No one taking the sort of front of it and say, "Come on, keep his ball," or whoever.
Exactly. Andy, the chances though in that first half, we at least 2, maybe 3. I think I recall, and there are some highlights of them. There was 2 chances, I think, to Watts. Certainly a really good chance to Curtis, Ronan Curtis as well. Nearly said Nelson again. To Ronan Curtis and Pepple as well with another opportunity. So. We've sort of been converting recently quite nicely, but we just didn't seem to have that finesse that would have effectively seen off what was a very poor Mansfield in that first half, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Watts effort, I think, came across. He went down for a header, didn't he? And it was a good header, but he's got to get it on target, surely. He's put it wide. And,
well, it was on target. His header was on target into the ground. It was just, probably their player of the match, their goalkeeper.
Mm.
He was a good keeper. I mean, he made 2 really world-class, I would say world-class saves in the first half, and it could have been a lot worse. I forget to the first shot, but it was going in all the way, and he sort of parried it. And, brilliant.
Yeah, got a good.
You can't complain against that. Really, he was the man of the match, and rightly so.
Yeah, we've got a few comments. Let's just read some of them out that have come in. We've got Graham Burns evening to you, Graham. Could have been worse if Ashby Hammond had misplaced pass had ended up in the back of the net. That was the clearance that rebounded. I think it might have been Wiredu. It did give me a heart attack because you just thought it was going to go that way, but luckily wasn't enough power on it. We'll say a bit more on Ashby Hammond in a minute. Forgot to say earlier, the injured, of course, Connor Hazard with an ankle injury. Stephen Cooper said should have been all over half-time on Tuesday. Yeah, totally agree. Matt Montgomery saying felt TC had options like Tegan Finn or Senny Dale on the bench. I don't think Tegan Finn was on the bench.
Tegan Finn wasn't on the bench. Was Dale even on the bench either? I don't think he was he?
Who? Sorry, Dale?
No. Senny and... What's his
Aseni
name?
was. I
Mackenzie
can look it
was.
up in a minute.
Yeah.
He should have brought on Aseni for CW. Why can't I think of who? Oh, for anyway.
Caleb Watts.
Thank you. To support Peppel, his natural position, Caleb Watts and the latter had a run his race. I did feel, actually, Matt, the same that Caleb Watts did seem to suffer a little bit of fitness in the second half. Andrew T saying he was unsighted because he didn't get the defense out. If they are up, he catches that easily. Lazy, it says Andrew T. Nicky's also in. Evening to you, Nicky. Take a ball draw on Saturday, says Argo 83. Well, it won't be a ball draw if you're watching with the watch along, because try and make it as entertaining as we can on a Saturdays. What else have we got?
He does. I'm just sat there as an ornament.
It is like Zippy and George on watch alongs.
You're the Gary Neville and Martin Tyler. You see, that's what it is, Carl. So you come to you for that deeper analysis on that action that just happened, if there is any. The loyal Oxtail, I think I got that right. So Peter O'Rourke said on X, I did see Alex mention this earlier, that clubs are interested in Eamon Benarous. Apparently we're open for a loan deal. Well, he might come with a pair of crutches as well with those two dodgy knees, but yeah, maybe he's not going to feature at the moment in the plans and they're looking to loan him out. So we'll come on to, let's have a look at the player stats. I mean, my thoughts on the game weren't too dissimilar to the gents there. And I think it was frustrating because, we just seemed to really do so well in that first half. But that goal at the end of the half just gave that little bit of impetus to Mansfield, really. And it allowed them to sort of settle a bit more into the game. But for a club that's, I think it was three wins and 2 draws, including the Tuesday night one. They've been on a decent run as well. It's all tight. We're all on level. Reading, I think Peterborough ahead now. It's Reading, Exeter, ourselves and Mansfield, if I recall correctly. And so, yeah, it just shows how well the teams have done. But it was just, we just couldn't edge it in Exeter, of course, because Mike, you and your Reading team let us down in injury time.
One job.
11 minutes of injury time, and they managed to pull an equaliser back. Not paying all their bills, though, to several people, but they managed to get some points in the league. So, yeah, it's disappointing, but we said on Saturday that actually if we get 4 points out of those 2 home games, considering recent home performances, you would take it. So player stats on the screen for you now. For those that are listening, I shall read them out. Luca Ashby-Hammond with a 7. We got Galloway 6.5, Mitchell 6.9, Ross 7.1, Edwards a 7.1, Soranola 6.9, Wiradoo 7.7, Boateng 7.3, Curtis, who was quiet in this game, 6.8, Watts with a 6.5, and Bim Pepel with a 7.8. I want to, Carl, start off with Ashby-Hammond from back to the front. As Voodoo says, too many mentions of the word so apologies for that. We'll bury that now, Voodoo.
You just swear.
Well, no, if you can't rub your hands at the current situation, then when can you? Because they certainly will be doing it to us.
Yeah. So I thought Ashby-Hammond had a solid game. I think his score shows that. But I think, again, what he really showed in that game, Carl, is how effective his distribution is. And I think there was only one distributed ball that I think went out to touch, but throughout the whole game, his ability to pick up the ball and get it out there. And there's one noted spell, I think it was in the first half, where he set Soranola off on a run, and normally I think Hazard just would have held it and stopped it and just slowed it down.
Yeah, and obviously I don't want to make excuses for him. Obviously the weather and the wind was pretty atrocious as well on Tuesday. But yeah, his distribution, I believe, is better than Connor Hazard's. That's not to take anything away from Hazard. I think he has slightly improved with his distribution of late, especially since he'd been picking up some results. But he's still quite hesitant for me and doesn't like to bowl the ball out early enough. He seems to hold on to it far too long, and some of his kicking is still very poor. And I think Ashby-Hammond's distribution is a lot better than Hazard's. I think most people would agree with that. I don't think his shot stopping is too bad either. But the thing with Ashby-Hammond is, I think, again, now with the lack of the game time he's had, we're going to see some shady moments. And obviously that pass he tried to play out, which went off the back of Wiradoo or Galloway, I can't remember who it was.
It wasn't a pass.
And again, like you said, if there was more speed on that ball, then we would have been in danger, and then the game would have been remembered for another Luca terrible own goal incident. But yeah, I thought he had a solid game. Did a couple of decent saves. I think obviously now with Hazard being out for another 3 to 4 weeks, he'll be in as the number one. So hopefully that will build his confidence. I think we can all agree he started to come into himself before Hazard got himself fit. I thought the weeks leading up to Hazard coming back, he was actually pretty good. So yeah, it's a big chance for him now to try and keep the shirt for a few weeks until Hazard is back, and hopefully then, if he's playing well, then he keeps Hazard out of the team. I don't see a reason why not. He's got time to showcase his ability now, and he's at a club like Fulham for many years in the Premier League, so they must have seen something in him. Because you don't end up at Premier League clubs if you haven't got something. So I'm sure he's working on his weaknesses. Like most players have got weaknesses, he's no different. And yeah, it's a big moment for Ashby Hammond, but I don't think he had a too bad a game. Yes, you could potentially blame him for the goal, but I think it's more of a collective mistake. The defence didn't clear the ball quick enough. Yes, he could have come out maybe early or shouted to the defence to come and claim the ball, but I think it was collectively a poor goal to concede, so I wouldn't necessarily lay the blame totally on him. I think it was just a poor goal to concede. But no, you thought he's pretty decent on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, he's, that goal, I can't remember what play was before it, whether it was a corner or a throw in, and the ball came out. I can't remember the player's number who received it just outside the box and obviously looked up and put that cross in. And, like I said, it looks like Hammond, you'll see it in the clip, sort of goes to sort of come thinking there's going to be a ball deeper into the box to catch it. It goes short. He goes to adjust back and he just sort of gets his feet caught. And so I agree with what my mate at work Sean was saying, but I think it's just one of those where the way it deflects off, whether it's the Luton player Sweeney, thanks Stephen Cooper, or comes off Galloway, it's just an awful deflection. And it's just late in the game, but he did pull off two really good stops, and just I felt seemed relaxed. You can't help Weirdo, whoever it was, getting in the way when he's trying to clear the ball. That player should also be going nowhere near it when you can see your keeper coming to kick it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does at Stockport.
Yeah, I think it's the other thing with his game, Mike, isn't it? He hasn't got that commanding presence about him like Hazard may have, or certainly Michael Cooper did a couple of seasons ago. He had that commanding presence and was shouting for the ball and communicating with his defenders. And I didn't think that happened because there's 3 of them in their vicinity, and it went straight through the lot of them and it nicked off Galloway. So if someone shouted out there, or keeper's ball or whatever, or Galloway kick it, whatever, then you're not conceding a goal, are you? So it's one of those freak goals, isn't it? Unfortunately.
No, but it's good that he's taken his opportunity, as we've said many a time. When players go out injured, it's a chance for others to step up and get involved and take their chances. And he's I think we'll see on Saturday. Hopefully, he has another good game. Ben Collins is in. Evening to you, Ben. Also, I did see. I think Ben Bennett was in earlier as well. So evening to you, Matt Montgomery. Also highlighting the goal was a freak piece of luck. The Stags player in front of Galloway went to attack the cross, slipped and accidentally took out the defender who was competing for the ball, then dropped straight to Sweeney. So, Andy, just sticking with you. So if we look at the back four, to me, the weather conditions were horrendous. Ross has got 7.1 along with Edwards. I thought he did have another great game, and he seems to be growing and growing and growing like Pepple in every game that he starts in.
Yeah, and he took a couple of elbows, didn't he? If I remember, one right in the face near the end of the game, and
referee didn't see it.
Booked or even set off for that is beyond me.
Oh,
yeah. Mitchell, I thought had a good game. I think that 6.9 is a bit lean for him. I think he did really well back there as well with Ross. Galloway, I think his score was low as well. He did okay, apart from the own goal. That's probably why he was scored down. And Joe is Joe, and he's contributed really well and fought hard to the end. So, yeah.
They're picking up, Carl. It's good, isn't it, that you've got like the likes. I mean, it's one of those games where the second half has probably dented a couple of the points here because we looked a little bit disjointed and like we were missing that experience with rules just to get everybody organised and keep organised. But again, Edwards, 2 really great games back to back since that awful cup game. The same as Sorinola. Not a huge amount to do, but they're in that game, it's a huge amount to do. Not a brilliant game, like I said, in that second half, but it's good that they're stepping up to the mantle.
Yeah, you're probably right. The second half probably has knocked some of the scores down because I think all of them probably deserve to be early sevens based off the first half performance alone. But yeah, it's quite ironic that we put out a post saying about Edwards' legs going, and then he's been absolutely brilliant since then. And credit to him. Obviously, the game time he's had in recent weeks has probably given him that fitness levels which we're used to seeing from him, and he hasn't really looked out of place. And I think since having Curtis as well is helped him massively because I think with that with Curtis's height and his tracking back, it helps Edwards out quite a lot. And obviously, when Amichi's there or Dale, they might be guilty of not tracking back to help Edwards out. But I think Curtis and Edwards are having a decent relationship down that side. And again, same with Galloway and Sorinola on the other side. I think they're really starting to struck a partnership because when it was Mumba and Galloway, I think Galloway was exposed quite a lot because Mumba being lazy, trying to track back, and I think Sorinola does a great job in tracking back, helping Galloway, which then gives Galloway space and time to push on forward, which we don't really see much of him doing that now. Since Sornola's there, we're seeing obviously Galloway get on the end of crosses and pushing up the pitch, which we never used to see. So that's good. That's blossoming in. Yeah. Obviously, Ross is really starting to come into his own now. Every game he plays, he looks fitter. He looks stronger. He's commanding. And I think, like I said the other night, when Pleggy gets himself fit, I think he's going to struggle to get back into the team, sadly. It'd be great to have Pleggy back, but I think at the moment, the way Ross and Mitchell are playing, you really can't separate them two, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, no, it's well, look, that's what we wanted, competition. I mean,
competition's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you look ahead, Boateng, seems to be settling in a bit more. Definitely plays better alongside Rules, but had a brilliant game. Hence the 2 scores, 7.3 for him and 7.7 for Wiradou. Who again is just working well in that natural position of his. I mean, Ronan Curtis, Carl, he didn't have a great game. He just wasn't able to get into the game, really, was he, on Tuesday? He had that great chance, which he worked really well and should have really put it away. But that was really most of what we saw of him. It was all that in the first half.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think the second half for a lot of the players, the game went by them quite a lot. I think first half, Curtis had a couple of chances and was in a lot of the play, just wasn't falling for him, or again the Mansfield defenders hanging off his neck like they were doing with Peppel. And it's difficult to play against teams, especially Nigel Clough teams, when they're quite physical, they're quite aggressive. He's a decent lower league manager. He knows all the dark arts and how to wind up players, and the referee was in his back pocket. So very difficult for the players to get any rhythm in the game when they're being held on to, the shirts are being pulled, and it's not really being punished. So I don't think it was the game really for Curtis, this one. And obviously Peppel did very well, considering again he had their number 5 hanging off his neck pretty much most of the game. And how we didn't get a few penalties in that game, I'll never know. I know the Mansfield fans are saying that Edwards and Sorinola should have been sent off as well, but I think that's extremely harsh. I mean, seeing Sorinola's in real time, yeah, maybe, but I think that's just sour grapes. And yeah, the referee was absolutely honking.
Yeah, we'll come on to that in a minute. I just want to end on Watts and Peppel. I mean, Watts have just come off a slide now with 6.5, I think it was. Yeah, he just didn't. when he came on in the cup game against Rovers, he seemed to ignite a few things in that game, but he just hasn't settled, I would say. He's trying to get back into the rhythm of a game, isn't he? And his header straight into the ground, should it have been straight at goal? I think he also had a flick on that, just went wide. So he was getting in there in the mixer, as they say, but it just wasn't paying off for him. And I don't know if it was Matt or someone earlier said that he seemed to run out of puff at half time. And Andy, we want to see that spark from him, and he knows that he's going to have to step up. Tolly, I'll be amazed if he makes Stockport because it's a bad dead leg, but he's got to make sure that he can get into it and settled in quickly, was else he's not going to get a regular place in the squad, is he?
Yeah, definitely. You're right. I just want to pick up on what Steve Wheeler said earlier on about partnerships. All the way through the spine, we've had you've got Ross and you've got Ross at the back with Mitchell. Sorry, I didn't get my brain in gear there. And then in midfield, you've got your Boateng and your Wirdia. They seem to play well together. Up front, your Talai and Peppel play well together. So you've got this a really strong spine in the team. When that spine gets disjointed, as I found out this week, my back is killing me. It doesn't work so well. So maybe Watts isn't the right sort of fit for Peppel. And Talai, when he does come back, we'll have that fit. So, but going back to Watts, he's a natural goal scorer if he puts his mind to it. But I think he tries too hard sometimes. He should have put the header away on Tuesday night. He really should have. But I guess he knows that. But he's not. He's better with his feet, I think, rather than his head. So that's just a view on it.
Yeah, I'm going to move on to Peppel now, as Paul Bailey put. Peppel is getting better and growing in confidence. I think with the players we've had missing, the pressing of the players wasn't the same against Mansfield. Agree. Need some points out of the next couple of games. So speaking of Peppel, for those of you that are familiar with the show, the number of us where we can like and enjoy watching the Argyle analysis that gets put up by Argyle TV, and they do share the odd clip most weeks with Aaron Cusack, who delivers our analysis, and Charlie Price. And so I thought it's just over 2.5 minutes. I thought we'll go through this because I did chat on DMs to Aaron before the Luton game, and said actually how Pepper was really impressed me recently, and and I think he's just going to grow and grow. And so let's run this VT because
you after some of his socks again, are you?
Is it? Well, Pepper might be wearing those A-Tech grip socks, but here's the analysis that was given by Aaron.
Let's talk about Bim Peppel, shall we? How impressed were you with him yesterday?
For me, his best performance of the season, and it's been coming as well, and it was deserving of him. We've got a number of clips here. We're going to chop it up. His ability to pin and spin. So he's a big lad, we know that. But what he's become really good at is using the defender as a pivot. So here we've got a moment. He's receiving the ball, and now he's using the position of the defender deliberately to lock him in, to use him as a pivot to do what we call a pin and spin. So he can pin and spin and drive forward. We've already seen this moment where he's had a deflected effort, but someone like that, where he's using his physical attributes to his advantage, is something he needs to build on. Another moment here, the ability to pin, escape, lovely little through ball. He's got some delicate footwork as well for a big man, and he's showing those qualities. This is his goal. We would forgive him if he offloaded it because of what happened against Luton, but no, he's gone. He's trusted himself, and what an outstanding finish. So his ability to work the ball, pin, spin and drive forward is one. The second bit that he's got is his ability to maraud, to travel with the ball up the pitch. I think this is a foul on him. I don't think it's a foul the other way. I think that's a foul on him. But the ability to chase lost causes, to make himself difficult, to create as well. Lovely little drop of the shoulder, pull back for Caleb Watts, who glances it wide. Again, even if they stick it into the area. So here, Sorinola's put a ball into the area. It's Peppel who's chasing it. And he uses his strength here really well. Perhaps just doesn't quite know where the oncoming defender is there to lose the ball. For me, that's a good moment between both teams, both competing for the ball really well. Again, out wide, sticking a ball into the area to help his teammates. So he's showing the ability to pin and spin, the ability to maraud and create, and also this is the most important part apart from scoring goals, the ability to pin and protect, to maintain possession for your teammates. So he's done this really well in the last few weeks. That the ability to get something, pin it, protect it, recycle it out of the pressure area so that we can maintain that front foot ascendancy. Lots of different moments, but similar returns. Pin, aggressive, protect, out you go. And if you've got, you've got a player in that caliber who can hold the ball up really, really well, you're going to play into him. It allows the us as a back line to get up as well. So it releases pressure at the other end. So for me, a well-deserving player of the match, and the fact that he got another goal is just showcasing.
There we go. Argyle 83 and Aqua behave, but it's a funny smell in the air. Anyway, no, that was brilliant from Aaron, and it was worth showing you that because it really does set out what he does. He wasn't everybody's fan, when he had come on at times, but you think of stepping into the fold when Seni, who was on form and went off injured, great to see him back and come on as well on Tuesday night. Peppel is just, and he's using that trait that he's always had. He's a big physical lad, and the pin and spin, I think, just highlights it brilliantly. If you're just to give it a plug, because obviously I've also shared the clip. That is the free clip they've put out on their Facebook and other socials. But of course, you can sign up to Argyle TV if you want to see more of that. It is brilliant analysis from Aaron there as usual. So Carl, he is proving to be immense, isn't he? And it's great to see another Argyle player that is just turning a form.
Yeah, I totally agree with Stephen Cooper's comment. Peppel reminds me of Ebanks Blake. And that's who he reminds me of as well. It's like a hybrid version of Ebanks Blake and Barry Hales.
I was just going to say Barry Hales.
Well.
Yeah,
Mick Evans could do that. Hold up,
that's literally him in a nutshell. And I'm just so glad now he's having the game time to showcase his quality. And I think the confidence of us winning games and him being selected, scoring a couple of goals, is making him go that extra yard, which maybe he didn't have at Luton. And is it Macclesfield? I think he was last season, was it? Well, he scored a few goals there, so he knows where the net is. And I think that the Tulai and Peppel combination going forward, I think, would work better for us than Tulai and Oseni. Yes, Oseni's also had a good season, scored a few goals, has looked impressive for the money we spent on him. But I think for how we play, I think him holding the ball up, bringing others into play, like your Curtis's, your Caleb Watts, and laying balls out wide, I think that's more beneficial to us with now Curtis on the wing with his delivery of crosses into Tulai, and obviously Peppel when he reaches after laying it off. But I think he's really, really starting to show his quality, and hopefully he's given now the game time with Oseni back to form a good partnership with Tulai. Because I think Tulai could be back for Saturday. I think he'd really want to play that game. I think they'll give him every opportunity. I think by the sounds of the press conference earlier on that he'll be travelling and they'll make a late call on it, but I'm sure Tulai will be putting his name on that team sheet. Yes, would it be risky in starting him to aggravate his injury? Possibly, but I think if we want to start pulling up this table, I think you need to play your best players, and I'm sure he will put himself forward and be fit enough, hopefully, to start the game. But yeah, really impressive Peppel, and hopefully there's more to come.
Yeah, and Debbie, just loving your top there, Carl. Obviously, shout out to Mental Health. Debbie, who's also now the proud owner of a top. She's at her Argyle hoodie, as Andy's wearing his.
Yeah, I highly recommend this brand. It goes towards men's mental health, so every money that can go towards that is a good thing. But it's a good brand.
Yeah, I'm not sporting anything tonight. I'm just I haven't had a chance to stop since I got in the door. But and thank you as well, Debbie, for your order. And don't forget, folks, you can go to our Etsy store or the block9.co.uk where you'll find the link to the shop if you want to pick up some merch. I'm just going to play the post-match interviews quickly as well. So let's get Tom Cleverley's view after that match.
Gaffer, start with your thoughts, really. There's kind of so much to talk about in that game.
Yeah, again, another game where boxing match it'd get stopped, but we need to be more clinical. I don't think we'll put many more dominant performances in that first half of football, and to go in at 1-1, we've let them off the hook. The overriding feeling is 2 points dropped and a massive disappointment in there, which shows you how far we've come in 10, 12 weeks. I think we'd have been delighted with a point at home against a strong Mansfield side, but where we've come and where we're wanting to go, we're really disappointed that we've dominated the game. And
Oh, there we go. It did. Well, wasn't me. It was cut short. As he says, right, let me go to Luca Ashby-Hammond's post-match. She was the one interviewed.
Luca, how did you see the game from your perspective today?
Definitely 2 points dropped. I feel we were superb to begin with in the first half. I think everyone who was watching the game probably thought we should have been 3-4 up by half time, and they've had a lucky goal towards the end of the first half. But as we went in at half time, we weren't panicking. We thought go out and perform like we did in the first half. It would be a formality that we would win the game, but you can't write any team off in this league. So a point is disappointing for us. I think they're probably happy with that. But probably a few months ago, we probably would have taken a point. So it shows that we've
come a long way.
That might have been me, that one. And also, while we're on the VTs, let's get Harvey England's post-match thoughts as well, as I've got his.
Right then, so that's full time. In Argyle 1, Mansfield Town 1. The points are shared. It's very dry, dull second half. I think if any team looked on to win it, would have been Mansfield. With some point gained, there's a team around us that took points off a lot of teams. I mean, they got a point at Stevenage, beat Bradford. It's a well-respected side, and to get a point, it's disappointing knowing that our first half chances, if we took our chances, we could have won that game. But we move on now. Stockport away next. We're still unbeaten. We're still keeping that unbeaten run. Anti-food, we had some injuries in that squad tonight, so lick our wounds. Hope for 3 points on Saturday.
There we go. Thanks, Harvey, for sending that over. So, yeah, quite a few comments. Let me just come to some of them. Obviously, Carl just pointing out to Matt Montgomery there. Just do a Google on the Boys Get Sad Too, and you'll find it there, Matt. What we got here? Debbie Fairham supporting the Block 9 podcast, wearing the hoodie for NHS now. Love that. What else we got as I scroll back up? There's so many. Andrew T saying their subs made a difference and ours didn't. Yes, someone did highlight earlier that Cloughie did make those early subs at half time. Why not when they had that little momentum swing? I don't disagree completely with Harvey that they might have gone on to win it. But then when Boateng, went forward with that ball and struck it, I thought, there we go, there's the 3 points. But the keeper managed to pull off a save. It was at him, to be fair. Argo 83 saying, I'm 43, so I'll take boys. Cheers, man. You're just a couple of years younger than me, giving it away now. Dad the Jana says, I think Peppel is great for Talai. Defenders just can't rough up Talai, and Peppel taking the brunt of the rough stuff. What else have we got here? Sparky, evening to you, says, looking forward to having Dale back. Yeah, I've been a big fan of Dale's. Again, he wasn't everyone's cup of tea, including on the show, but I could see in difficult team then circumstances that he was a standout for me. So in a team that's performing, it could be interesting. Just imagine the options up top if Aseni finds form he had before injury, along with Talai and Peppel. Well, it just means, again, substitution-wise, we've got attacking threat that will worry teams that we can bring off the bench. VW Coco highlighting absolutely rightly too, Boateng started every league game and a bit underrated. Yeah, not the best midfielder we've had, but always gives 100%. But has been superb since Rules has come in and since Wiradoo has gone back to his more favoured position. So that's important. Green Gruffalo says, when we were talking about Peppel, I must admit, when the big man pins and spins, quite often his lack of pace means he gets tackled easily. Don't get me wrong, he is improving. No, I think that's spot on. He can sometimes just lose that ball. There was that point where he shouldered off the defender, cut into the box and wasn't aware of players around him. So he can lose it just as easy, but he is doing so much more with it, which is positive to see. As Carl alluded to, Stephen Cooper said, Peppel reminds me of Ebanks, Blake, and also as Barry Hales, as he also said. Mark is in evening. He says that was a good as a defeat. Should have been 3-0 at half time and job done. Not good enough to let that slip. Mansfield have a really good keeper. Well, and the other thing, sort of, Carl, is they're one shot, one chance in that whole first half, and they get it in the back of the net.
Yeah, well, they took their chances, didn't they? Well, chance. But we had plenty first half to win that game. Like I said, we should have been 2 or 3-0 up at half time. But credit to their keeper. Yes, could we have done better with those chances? Maybe not directed them at the goalkeeper. Probably yes, but I think we're just being too over critical. It's nice to be having these games now where we're having chances, we're looking positive, which we weren't looking a few weeks back. So yeah, I'll be more worried if we weren't having those chances. I think we just came up against a decent keeper on the night. We didn't do much second half to really press on for the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm just going to, because bless her, she's been sat in the lobby for the last 5 minutes or so. I'm just going to bring Heather in. We're not quite there yet. There we go. With a lovely little background look now. What's happened to the bedroom? Or have you moved to yours and you don't want to show it?
No, I'm still in Scarlet's, but I thought, everyone's got backgrounds. I need to join the club now.
Fair enough then. But how you been anyway? How's your week?
Yeah, been quite busy. Obviously, busy with the football. Disappointing, obviously, Wednesday game was cancelled. We're just basically focusing on Sunday ready now.
Good. Well, we'll come to those updates and that brilliant 9-0 victory against Billericay at the weekend. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the press conference. Before that, I thought I'd just cheer everybody up and drop this image on if you haven't seen it already. Come on, computer. Are you going to kick in? There we go. Bradley Ibrahim back in training. So it's good to see a number of the players now getting back. As we mentioned, Owen Dale before and Aseni, obviously, who came on as a sub on Tuesday night. So it's great to see. Like we said recently, how's he going to fit in? What's going to happen? There's a few that has mentioned about Amici, maybe our style not suiting him as well at the moment. Carl's opened up, or someone did anyway, either Andy or Carl, on the whole Benarouz situation. But let's have a look at the press conference. There we go. Come on, restream. So TC said, we're expecting a tough test against Stockport. They have the ability to mix it up. They can play with a 3 or 4 at the back, but the focus is on us and how intense we can be. If we do that, we have a very good chance. On Lawrence Talai, he says, Tolly will be a late decision, which will be made tomorrow. We are flushing out a bit of soreness that he's had every day. So it's about working out if we have a risk with playing him or he can be on the bench or even in the starting 11. He also went on to say, there we go, waiting for it to load. On injuries ahead of Saturday, Dale, McKenzie and Aseni are all fit ahead of the game. Rules and Hazard are about another 3 weeks away, with Plegazuelo looking positive and could return around the Lincoln game or our virtual trophy tie. So it's a chance for Ashby Hammond to get a couple more games from the sounds of that. Also, come on, hurry up. There we go. On signings ahead of the transfer deadline day, he says, we are edging closer to signing a midfielder, but it won't be ahead of the game this weekend. We are also looking at adding a centre-back, but that will go down right to the last couple of days of the window. And then finally, or 2 more slides, excuse me. Come on, here we go. Is it going to move? And there we are. He says, we can only name a squad of 22 players. We are at capacity. We have space for 1 more player. And if we bring 2 in, 1 will have to leave. Financially, we've had some losses to fill. The long-term future and success of the club is priority. This club is run with a long-term vision at the heart of it. And ultimately, the transfer window might suffer from that. Well, there you go. That's a telling comment. And from Malachi Boateng, if it will load, there we go. He says, I'm happy to help the team when I can. Hopefully, my run of starting every game continues. When you are young, you want to play as many games as you can and help the team out. It gives me confidence, so I'm happy to be doing that. He went on to say, everyone is enjoyable to play with. They all bring different aspects of the game, which really helps. We are all still focused on not getting carried away and winning games. The environment is really good and challenging as well, but I think there is more to come from the boys and we want to continue with that. Andy, that comment from TC, I think as much as you want the club or Simon Hallett to take risks and whatever you think of him, etc., it's still a business, as we've said many a times on the show. And at the end of the day, you have to bear that in mind. So obviously, clearly, we can't bring in more than we can financially manage.
Yeah, we've got to be so careful about it. And we don't know how much we've got to spend. If we do bring in a loan player, that's going to sort of be we're going to pay some of his wages, but do you take that risk when you've got players coming back into the side? I think we need at least another one, maybe two, but I don't know whether he's got the time to get them in. He's got to try to get them through the door. That's the certainty, but whether he does or not, I don't know.
No, well, Carl, he does allude to the fact that one might join after the weekend, which I'm guessing then could allude to a loan. Is that
maybe? I mean, before the Luton game, he was saying we were close with a defender, so I'm guessing the defender that we were attempting to sign maybe hasn't come off, and now we're focusing more on the midfielder because the defender obviously is now taken a back seat until next week. So, I mean, maybe there's some rationale behind it with the defender. Maybe he thinks if Mackenzie gets in the team, keeps himself fit, then obviously then Galloway would be used as a potential third centre back, which could potentially what could happen. But at the way that Galloway's playing at the moment, would you want him to be dropped? Probably not. So it's going to be an interesting battle down that side because I think Mackenzie's got a lot of work to do to force Galloway out.
Yeah, no, definitely. I thought that might incite a comment from you, Voodoo, out in the shadows. He said, yes, it is a business, but are transfers an investment? Well, yes, they are. But I think, with looking at when the accounts actually come out to when they're finalised is normally a good few months. And I think we are probably suffering financially more than we realise than we were in those accounts. So it's difficult. It's difficult because Simon has only got a certain limit he can do to bail it out. So we don't want to be in a challenging situation. But I get the point, Voodoo, absolutely. And I think, like Andy said, with players coming back, you almost like, well, do you need them? But that's the gamble. As you know, Voodoo, you take your investments, you either go for it, or you just, count your assets and just hope that they can deliver what you need till the end of the season. What else have we got? Stephen Cooper says, Grumpy Holloway said on his press talk they've been kicked out.
Is that right? Because surely they would have been confirmation of the game if that's the case.
Yeah.
Possibly then.
Should be confirmation if that's the case. I'm surprised there's nothing happened about that because the game is looming on us and nothing's been said. The FA haven't done anything about it, have they? What they're doing.
No. Well, yeah, exactly. Voodoo saying, which made me chuckle, cleverly said it would take several windows to sort out the squad. At this rate, about 15, mate, which will be 15, way too many more for Voodoo. Are you hearing any rumours, Heather, in amongst your contacts?
Not so much, obviously, with the men. But again, obviously, everyone's talking about transfers at the minute. It's unfortunately, I think most of the team are they're picking up injuries left, right, and centre. So it's almost like you need those backups for the injuries, just not because the team are lacking, but because everyone's just injured all the time at the minute. I don't think I've seen a week where someone's not gone off with an injury or there's so-and-so's out for another 2 weeks. And it's just like, we just want a fit squad. That's all you want.
Yeah, no, totally agree. It's always difficult when you're thin on the ground anyway with squad numbers. But we'll see what happens over the next few days. Let me just look at Stockport stats for you now. So Stockport are fourth currently in the league on 49 points. Their last run of 5 games is a win, a draw, a win, and a defeat. It's going to be interesting to see where that pits us. If we can get a win, where does that pit us? It pits us up there with Wickham, who I think, if I'm correct, from the chatter in our WhatsApp group, signed a Bolton or striker for a ridiculous amount of money, or defender. What was it today, gents? Carl?
Say again?
Thanks.
No, you did actually cut up on my side. Say again?
Oh, sorry. There was didn't Bolton offload a fifth favoured or choice player to Wickham or someone for a ridiculous sum?
Who we were not linked with, maybe rumoured to be in for, but 750,000. There's no chance we're spending 750k on a midfielder, I don't think, in this window. But he's a top player.
Choice.
Not by choice.
It's a big problem, isn't it, guys? Because what do you do? Do you go out and bring these players in, or do you stick with what you got? You got players coming back into the team. Plague's going to come back. Mackenzie, there's going to be all through the team coming back. Yeah. So do you go and splash that money on a player who could easily pick up an injury when his first game, may not get a game like Benarous? I mean, we bought Benarous in, and he's going back in July without hardly taking a game for us.
Well, it's that old chestnut of ambition at the end of the day, isn't it? So if we've got ambitions of trying to get into the playoffs, then surely you speculate to accumulate. But I think we know Hallett's stance on that. Yes, we've got, by the sounds of it, some money issues, so we're not going to go out and be spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands which we haven't got. So it's a balancing act at the minute.
You know, when you bring someone like Rolls in, the quality of Rolls and Running Curtis, there's two experienced players there who have brought extra quality to the team. Ben Pepper has suddenly turned around and started to play football. So, do we need those players? It's one for debate, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, well, that's the gamble. They stuck with TC under a lot of pressure in difficult circumstances. So far, it's suddenly turned a corner, but we'll soon find out at the end of the season where it's gone. So just from a head-to-head perspective, that's random. It's just said one win, which was back in September the 6th when we played them at home, and that's all it's given me. Surely we played them a few times before that. Maybe we haven't. But yeah, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity, I think, Carl, for who's going to do it? Exeter, Mansfield, Reading or Plymouth? Who can get a result, if not all of us, typically again, who can get a result to try and edge themselves away from this group?
Well, it wouldn't put it past me. The way things are going at the minute, we'll probably win and everybody else will win as well. That seems to be the way things are going. Or if we go up to Stockport and lose, and everyone else will lose as well. Seems to be sod's law at the moment. But I think I don't want to mention Exeter again with Voodoo in the chat, but I'm going to anyway. I think if the rumours are true regarding money issues, it might be a bit late maybe for them to start selling players before next Monday. But I think if people start coming in for your Jaden Warehams and other players that are hitting form for them at the moment, then they will start to struggle. But they always fall off at the end of the season, so I'm not too concerned about them, to be honest. But I think as long as we keep picking up points, our away form is pretty decent. So I'm going into the game again quite confident, and it should be like the game we played at home when it was 4-2. It'd be quite open. They want to come at us, which will probably suit us as well. So yeah, it should be a good game.
Yeah, just a few notes on their players to watch. Their top-rated player is Oliver Norwood, 7.76 FOTMOB rating, followed by Brad Hills and Ben Osborne. Let me just find out if it's going to load up for me. Defensive midfielder is Oliver Norwood. You've also got top scorers Kyle Wootton on 13, Jack Diamond on 5, and Oliver Norwood again on 5. Top for assists, no surprise why his score is so high. Oliver Norwood, Diamond, and Wootton in that 3 as well. So yeah, we'll see. They sort of had Challenor, have I pronounced that right, for a fair few seasons now. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good since 21-22 season. So he's been there since then. Right, where's my notes gone? Me lover. So just looking at any other injury news, I don't think there's anything we've missed there. Also, actually, and then I'll come to Heather before we round off with a couple of other bits. Let me just bring this up while I was just looking at it on my notes. Come on, here we go. So Argyle, along with get my teeth out. Middlesbrough, Plymouth, Argyle, and Salford City. Out and in. So Salford and Plymouth, Argyle, Middlesbrough have all achieved gold in the EFL Equality Code of Practice for the 25-26.
You'll never sing that.
Say again?
I said you'll never sing that.
No, you never sing that. That's the highest standard possible and a record 3 clubs hitting gold in the same season. They are the first of 13 clubs, assessed so far this year, showing strong commitment to equality, diversity and inclusion. The scheme is now mandatory for all EFL clubs with assessments every other season. Argyle were highlighted specifically for Project 35, tackling poverty in Plymouth. More results land in spring with final outcomes in the summer and more golds possible. So well done to the community in Project 35 team there. So I tell you what, why don't we now talk about the women's game? And there we go. It's going to load. There we go. Finally, it's a bit slow tonight, showing its age like me. So Heather, yeah. We were getting your reactions as you were not watching it on that new test thing stream. But 9-0. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so obviously I did get to see like a little preview. They obviously, for the women, we don't have a lot of away technology. So I was given access to a stream. So I was able to watch it, to review it. And obviously if it works, then for the next season, it will be rolled out, hopefully. Yeah, it was fantastic. Obviously, they came to us, I think it was like second or third game of the season back in August, September, I think. I actually can't remember. And we did the exact same. We basically got a 9-0 goal. It was basically a mirror again. So it was 6-0 first half, the other three picked up in second half. And this is what the girls did again with obviously the new players and that's getting the goals.
Yeah, so it was a bit frantic. I was like doing stuff, and my phone kept pinging. It's like, oh, there's probably another goal. But yeah, I mean, a strong sort of dominant performance again. I mean, Billericay, not understanding the league and the opposition, but are they just generally a poor side, or is that just that the ladies didn't just make them look bad?
No, unfortunately, they have had a bit of a bad run. They are currently bottom of our league, so they are sitting 12th. Not from lack of playing from the girls, to be honest. They have picked up a few new players, a few in the transfers, and they are actually getting stronger. So they are actually finally able to get like goals in as well. They were actually winning against Gwalia until a last minute goal got them. So they're close to that win, but unfortunately against a side like us that are pushing for promotion, we just unfortunately just walked all over them and didn't even get them anywhere near our box, and I think it's like 1 or 2 times they got a chance, and that was it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Good,
Well, Marie,
good for a goal difference, though, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, we needed it.
Yeah, just going to say, Marie Hurahan said after the game, no game is a given. It's easy to get casual at times, and it was important that it didn't happen. Difference could be a huge factor. We've come here today, scored some excellent goals, and kept that clean sheet. Obviously, it did pit us into second. Obviously, there's Watford with Bournemouth with games in hand. But yeah, and also that cup game, the local derby, that was called off yesterday because of this wonderful storm that we're having. So that was a bit of a disappointment. But give us the update on or the inside on the game coming.
Yeah, so obviously, like you mentioned, the extra game that was supposed to be going on yesterday, was cancelled due to a flooded pitch. We were actually quite looking forward to that. Yes, it's a county cup game and it's not as big to some people, but for us, it was a new arena, new place to try out. So we were actually looking forward to seeing a new ground. But obviously, we are giving it lets the girls have more time to rest, so that they are refreshed for Sunday because it is the National League semi-cup finals. We actually made this final last year, even though unfortunately our league run-ins weren't the best. We actually got to the semi-final. We faced Stoke, which is actually Marie's old team. And at the minute, if you have a look on the Argyle women's socials, they've got a bit of a video from Caitlin that played with Argyle last year, and Roisin and Arabella, who played actually for Stoke last year, on their re-highlighting the game and how they thought the game went for them. We did end up losing that game 3-0 to them. But I think obviously with the team we got now, we are going in so much stronger and determined to make that final again this year.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. There's lots going on. Is it about 9 games now? Is it league games left of the season? What's the final running for the ladies?
I think we got 9 games. We kind of had a manic start to the season where we were all basically at home every weekend. But we've got quite a few away games coming up. I think it's about 9 left. Obviously, as you mentioned, Bournemouth do have those extra 2 games in hand. So for us, it could come down to the wire, unfortunately, for the league on where we finish.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting run. A couple of questions I've seen in the comments for you. The Ginge Darts, love that. Great little profile picture as well. Says, Heather, did you go to MAP versus Argyle?
Of course I did. There's rarely a game that we don't get to unless there's something else going on. We went to the MAPs, obviously, part of the supporters club. We were giving out the allocations for the tickets because it had to be 50-50 with the Devon FA and MAP. So we only had 50 people that could actually come into the ground, and everyone else had to unfortunately just watch around the arena at Boston Park.
Yeah, that was a question from Andy Prowse, who said, Heather, why are the spectators put in the worst area of the ground for women's games?
Yes, I'm gonna say I think it's because we aren't as we don't have the crowds as much as the men do. So they only open up, unfortunately, the Mayflower area and only open the upper if it's raining. So we are kind of all squished into that one bit, which is actually quite nice because you're right behind the dugout, so you can hear Marie shouting like her instructions, you can hear the girls on the pitch, so you do get that bit of a closer interaction with the girls, but at the same time, if it's raining, you're going to get soaked.
Well, to be fair, Heather, I mean, I've heard Andy's really loud anyway, so just get him a chair, stick him over the old Lindus, and leave Andy Prowse there to watch the game on his own. And also, come on, Andy, it costs money to open up other areas. Do you want something in this transfer window or nothing at all? We also had Voodoo saying earlier before his latest comment, he said 9-0, pretty good. He said not quite the full Exeter though, is it? I was trying to think of something to segue with that earlier, but I couldn't. So well
Exeter
done.
have played these once, and they could only get 7 past these girls, so we beat them there.
Yeah, there you go. Unless if that's what I thought, Voodoo might have been referring to the Exeter City game, but if he's referred to that, then absolutely spot on.
We are dominating Exeter women at the minute, but obviously we are playing them in a few weeks. So
yeah, that's that Wednesday game on half term. Is it Wednesday on half term?
Yeah, 18th of February.
That's the one that we're going to try and get to, Carl, myself, and I think Gavin will certainly be there. David Mortimer says, I wish we could get a transfer fee for Bradders. I wonder how the views are on X these days. What else have we got in here? Voodoo said the E word. Good spot, Michael Hawks. He did. For telling us to not mention it. He will claim that he didn't verbally say it. He just typed it out. Terry Alford, I forgot to say evening to you earlier, Terry. I often look on YouTube for Argyle women's stuff, but it's only ever old posts. Well, like Heather said, they are testing out some streaming. I mean, I said to Heather, if I could stand at a game and stream to our channels, with my phone and a mobile signal, then there's no excuses. So come on, Argyle, sort it out. You don't need insanely expensive cameras, which I noticed they have in their studio, to get something going. What else have we got? Argyle Day says, don't think he would be worth a lot, David. Probably go for a free as a picking on Bradders. And Ginge Darts did also say, did you hear the drummers at that map game?
We did. We stayed quite close to the entrance, so the drummers were down the other end. They had their own little, they were obviously for Maps. We could hear them as well. Maps wasn't giving up, despite being a league below us. They still came out in full force to try and get those points as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you for that. And good questions from the guys in the chat. Voodoo says, fair play to Argyle ladies manager who has not been sent off this season, I believe us. Is that true?
No, she hasn't got a single yellow card or red card.
To be fair, they probably have better officials than
the first team for the men.
We question a few officials.
I think Voodoo's basically saying I'd rather have Marie than Tom Cleverley. That would be it, isn't that right, Voodoo? I think. What else have we got? Matty H44, evening to you. Can they get promoted or do you need the money first?
This is the bit I'm actually waiting to find out from the club. Obviously, the standards are different this year, so first place I believe automatically goes up, and then you got the playoffs, which is second in the Southern and the Northern. I am actually meeting with the club tomorrow as part of the supporters club group, and this is actually a question a lot of the supporters have asked, is about where it will go with the promotion. Do we need the money? Do we need to go full professional? And it's just finding out those informations, and hopefully by next week I can have more of an information for everyone for that one.
Yeah, well, Voodoo, I mean, that might put tighter strings on that transfer wallet. But no, all good, all good. What else have we got from the comments? Matt Montgomery saying, what do you think of this idea? TC bringing in Marie Hurahan to share her technical thoughts in a midweek training session and vice versa. TC to assess the women's training. I think now, hasn't there been some involvement with Marie in the first team?
I don't actually know if she's been over to see the first team, but we have obviously been at games for the women's. You do actually catch Tom Cleverley walking around a bit. Obviously, if everyone's down in the lower Mayflower, he's actually up in the upper Mayflower in the director box. So he's obviously trying to get some tips, seeing how not to get sent off and pick up the yellow cards, and basically how actually to get the points as well. Because yes, the men are on a roll, but not as well as the women, unfortunately.
That's why our games are
who posted that comment out of you two?
Me.
I was saying, as you know, Voodoo, it always takes a woman to do a man's job, so I'm told, as he's told every day by his missus. So yeah, no, I'd seen someone saying about the Mayflower, why does it have to be the lower tier and stuff? But they do open the lounge. Gavin has told us, I think, Heather, don't they, so that you can go in for drinks and whatever before kickoff, halftime, etc. So
yeah, so the rules are different for the women's game. So if you do hospitality like for the men's, the blinds are obviously shut for the game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we should stay in there and not watch the whole game sometimes at home with the blinds shut.
But actually, the women's game, they're actually allowed to stay open. So a lot of people will sit inside if they want to keep warm. A lot of the kids will stay in there playing. So it's quite good. Like, you don't see the full effect of everyone out as well as like people are sitting inside.
Yeah. No, there we go. That's your reasons why. Brilliant there. Michael Hawkes finding everything funny in the chat as well. I mean, just like supporting Reading, that's quite funny, isn't it? So moving on, Heather, you can by all means stay with us if you want. We're just going to touch upon a couple more things. If you want to shoot off, then by all means, you can exit out. That's fine. Right, what was I going to say? The TC behind the greens. So I caught up with that just before the show. I thought I'll make an effort to watch Voodoo. It's a cracking watch. I think you should definitely log in and see it after the show. Behind the Greens is I don't know if it's a series or it's a one-off thing here and there, but it basically followed Cleverly from the moment he gets in at 6:15 and does his gym workout before he then heads what I thought. I know Carl and Andy have seen this, Heather, I don't know if you have, but what looked like a mammoth journey to get to his office, in this door, around the Mayflower, into the hospitality lounge, up some stairs, across, over a great big pathway, into another section, into this section, finally gets to his room. I just thought that just seems
I don't know why he just didn't go through the main entrance, but maybe
because it's not open, is it, at 6:15 in the morning? The only person else that's in is the cleaner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good job Ryan Lowe's not here.
Voodoo says, I thought Behind Us Greens was a comedy, needed the Office music on it. Well, Voodoo, we know you're a dab hand at dubbing on videos, so maybe you could do a little bit of work.
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
100% encourage him, and we'll play it on this show. I did laugh. If you don't follow Voodoo on X, he's been a regular watching the podcast. He did a brilliantly dubbed video of Tom Cleverley's post-match of Luton where he dubbed Derek Adams' voice over it, and I was in stitches. And I said to him, I'm more than happy to do the alternative post-match interview if he provides it after each game. It was he's always brilliant with his videos. But yeah, it was Behind the Greens. It's a 30-minute show where they literally from start to finish for the day. It's a Wednesday, so it's a day where they go and get ready and prepare the lads for the opposition. Yeah, I mean, everybody's in early, settling things down. It's quite clear on, he's very organised, Carl. I think that was quite clear, isn't it, in what he wants out of everybody.
I think you've got to be organised to hit the gym at 6 a.m. in the morning. I mean, full credit to him. I mean, that's when they started to film at 6 o'clock, so God knows what time he was actually in there for. By the time they obviously were all mic'd up and got the cameras rolling, but yeah, fair play to him. He's in there early. You can see he really wants to make it work. I know the dreaded "he's a nice guy" thing, obviously with the fans forum coming out, but you can really see that he's fully invested here, and that's what we're craving, aren't we? We're craving stability and person that wants to give his all. And I think now with results obviously falling into place, I think we're in a lot better place now, and hopefully we can push on with him at the helm. So I think he's got a bright future. Obviously, we were saying different a few months ago, but things have turned now. So it's typical football fans being fickle. We all say things which then come back and bite us in the arse a few months later. So no, it's a brilliant. I hope it's not a one-off. It'd be cool to have like a series of different people at the club, like even Chris Ralph, like doing the pitch, like what steps are included during the day and on Harper's Park and behind the scenes. I think that'd be a quite little series. So hopefully we'll see more of that.
Yeah, he's Voodoo said he'll be sleeping in the office next. I mean, I was a bit shocked that he leaves at 4:30. I mean, yes, 6 o'clock's an early start. I normally get into the office around 7:30, but yeah, I thought 4:30, and when the club have always said he's the last one out, I'm like thinking, hang on a minute, who's bloody everybody leaving at 4:30? But no, it was good. They trained on the main pitch because of the obviously the rain for the Luton game, so There was a lot of, sort of keeping off the Harper's Park because the drainage obviously is nowhere near as advanced. But yeah, I thought it was good. You can see he does put a lot of time and effort in. He does love the game. He clearly needs that. I think it would have been interesting if they did one on Rooney, because they probably would have started off and it would have been,
in the cider press. Yeah.
So,
I just like the way he
Andy, how did you find the show?
I like the way he interacted with his team and the players and the team around him as well. His coaches around him. Really, really professional. Really good stuff. Knows his stuff. Talking about the opposition quite a lot and how they might line up and how they should play against them if they do line up that way. It's really, really insightful, wasn't it? I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, the bit that they clipped out, which I'm waiting for Voodoo to pick up on, is there was a scene where Derek Adams does stick his head in the office, and they sort of, Tom Cleverley says, "Oh, we're filming," and he leaves. I mean, Voodoo, that's probably where Derek comes in and tells them exactly what to do, and how they need to set it out and get it going. But no, it's a good watch. So go and get it. It was to subscribers only of Argyle TV for a few days, and then it was put out to the wider audience. It's a good PR stunt as well, let's face it, to show what's going on. But I think it was a very good, honest account of what he has been doing day to day. And sometimes hard work does pay off. So let's hope, regardless of your thoughts of Tom Cleverley, that is what happens come the end of the season. Matty's saying Rooney used to clock out when the cider press shut, where they used to force him out, and then he would just go straight to the office, I think, didn't he? That's quite funny. Matt Montgomery saying, true Argyle 83. He said, I actually think Wigan or Wimbledon could find themselves in the relegation zone with Port Vale in a free fall. Could see Ryan Lowe sacked. That's in relation to, I think, let me go back up a bit if I can find it. Where he did say something about the state of Wigan at the moment. It's a right calamity.
Calamity. I thought you were saying Callum Wright when he was saying
that would have been better.
Callum Wright is not doing very well, is he?
No, it's a complete Callum Wrighty. There we go. Right, I think, let me just check my notes before we come to final thoughts, as we're about an hour and 15 in. Thank you, everybody, for tonight. Obviously, just one final reminder, if you're not subscribed already and you're watching us from YouTube, please hit that subscribe and also that bell. We're not far off the 600 mark now, which will be great to get that over the next few days. You can, and if those of you that are listening, back on the podcast channel, thank you for that. Also, you can catch us, if you haven't caught it all, on your favorite podcast platform. And also, as I've said before, please go in and drop a review on there, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Really do appreciate it. You can see up above me is a Patreon. You can go and sign up there. There's 2 memberships we got there if you want to show even more support than you do already for the show. And also, we've got a little treat. I call it a treat. We've set up a WhatsApp community for all things Argyle. It is invite only. So we appreciate all of those of you that do engage with us on the shows regularly. Obviously, it is private, so it's not open for public, because chaos would ensue if we did that.
Look at the chaos that's happened since Heather's joined. I mean,
yeah. Sorry.
Well, we got it grouped out, so we also have a women's chat group in the community, as well as a general all things Argyle and a news one as well. But if you would like to come in, Argyle 83, I did send you a message, and Voodoo yourself earlier as well. But if you would like to come in and chat with us all, there's quite a few of us in there. Brian as well, Terry from Boston, Massachusetts, etc. Are in there, as well as Eric. So we got 3 from over the pond in with us. And then Michael Hawkes is in there. There's a few in there now. So if you want to get in, then doesn't matter who it is or on the main pod channel, drop us a DM and then we'll come back to you. But we wanted the Discord thing, just didn't work, too much hassle. But the WhatsApp group, because most people are on that. So yes, if you would like to come in and join the chat, then let us know. So funny, Carl. So on that note, final thoughts from you, Carl, please.
Yeah. Let's put me off that comment now. Anyway, yeah. Can't wait for the watch along on Saturday. And hopefully we'll, like I say, continue the away form that we're used to the last few weeks. Still unbeaten in 2026. Unbeaten away for several weeks. So let's just keep the ball rolling. Hopefully we get Tolly back, because I think we'll have more chance to win if he's in the side than not. So yeah, really can't wait. I think it'll be an entertaining game. Chances for Luca and a few of the others to stake their claim. So yeah, roll on Saturday.
Well, I just realised I haven't done the lineups, so I will come.
Yes.
Actually, I'll come to it now quickly. Let me scroll. I've got so many slides on tonight.
Amateur.
Yeah. So Carl's when it loads, really 3, 2, 1. There we go. So Carl, quickly spin us through your lineup for Saturday against Stockport.
Well, again, it's much of the same, isn't it? Don't change what's not broken. So yeah, the back four, as it's been for several weeks now. Obviously, Luca back in goal because Hud's injured. Curtis and Soren are on the wings. Obviously, Wiredu continues to keep his place because obviously Rawls is out injured. I mean, you could look at Boateng and Watts maybe swapping them, but I think away from home, you'd probably want to be a bit more defensive minded, I would say. So I'll probably continue with Boateng. And then hoping to God Tulai's fit to partner Pebble. If he's not, then I'm guessing potentially Watts would continue with Pebble or give Aseni 45 and then bring Watts on for the second half. But I think it's kind of picks itself at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's fair. I do have Gavin's. I think Talai is going to be too touch and go, if I'm honest. So let me bring that up. So Gavin obviously is only mentioned at the start, but just let you know.
Who the hell is that Curtis on the other side? Brother
God, that's a dodgy mug shot, isn't it? Well, as I always say, Caleb Watts has been done hard there as well, isn't he? In those profile pictures from Lineup Builder. So Gavin's gone with the same back four, of course, and even Ashby Hammond looks dodgy there. With Watts, we'll do Boateng and Curtis again. He's also gone for Talai with Pebble up front. I just can't see that he's going to start. It's too much of a risk, and you absolutely know it when he gets clipped left, right, and centre. They will go for that dead leg, and a knee in that dead leg will see him out possibly for even more. So yeah, we got to watch for that. Andy, anything you would change on that?
No, nothing there, mate. That's a good lineup for me. Again, you got that spine. The only difference being Ashby Hammond and goal. You got that spine with Ross and Mitchell. We were doing Boateng and Pepple and Talai. So that's a really strong spine. And the wide men play their part just as well. So that's a great lineup, I think.
I was just about to say, is Heather dropped out, or was you just hiding?
No, just the width.
Here.
The width of our profile pictures, was too tight to show four of us. Hence why I adjusted it. I'm still laughing at Argyle 83 saying that ain't Curtis. No, it looks absolutely shocking, doesn't it? So he's been hard done by there by Lineup Builder.
Must have had an uphill paper round, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's it. Hard paper round, as they say, Carl. That's the actual saying. Andy, final thoughts?
No, there was a saying about having an uphill paper round.
Oh, fair enough then.
Final thoughts.
Another person who's done a hard paper round. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Steady with you. Yes.
No, I think final thoughts. We're gonna take it to Stockport on Saturday. We're gonna go up there and give them a good game. And if that team does play that Gav put out, then I think we can easily win that up there. Just go at them, high press, and just go for it.
Yeah, as Stephen Cooper's just asked, I'll be doing a watch along on Saturday. And I absolutely look forward to doing them as well. So Carl will be joining me again. So check in with us on Saturday for that.
Or bring the earplugs.
Yeah, bring it. Why?
With you doing your commentary.
Well, there you go. Oh, got to make it.
What's he gonna do now? What's he gonna do now?
Oh.
Hey, you can join the other 800 that will watch it on Saturday. It's perfectly fine. But I was tempted until I looked at the price to get a proper commentator's microphone, and I might have to bodge on because they're like 800.
It'll be sheepskin coats next, and John Moxon hats.
Sheepskin coats.
John Moxon, here we go.
well, thinking about it, I haven't done anything or dressed up in anything random for a while.
Not giving him the idea.
Just go on Amazon, order that jacket. Yeah, fine, thank you. They're probably about 800 quid as well. Michael Hawke saying, don't forget the gold graphic too. I always forget the gold graphic. Watts looks like a member of the Common Arts. Classic. Looks like a crime watch fit. They are dodgy. They are dodgy. Come on, lineup builder, sort your images out. They are shocking. And as Voodoo said, he looks more like Tony Curtis than Ronan Curtis. Right. Well, I'll give you final thoughts, Heather.
Yeah, obviously I'm actually looking forward. I'll be finishing work just as kickoff starts. So obviously I'll be watching on the watch along. Just want another win under our belts. I'm still obviously learning more about the men's game. Starting together, obviously women is my main passion. So take it till you make it. I sound like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And as we said, we said we'd bring we do want to bring more all things Argyle to the show. So Heather is doing that for us going forward for the women's game. And I've had Andy's also got in touch with a potential contact that hopefully we can look to bring onto the show. I will also we have mentioned or discussed it, seen about getting Aaron Cusack on at some stage as well. Who can brilliantly give us even more of his insights and thoughts into how he sees Argyle performing. So
and Brian as well, and some of the Argyle USA lads. I think that'll be a good one.
Yeah, we'll look at a break when there's either an international or something where we can do that. Don't have to wait for that, but we'll see what the schedule shows. And also, as someone said, I think it might have been Matt Montgomery, a day in the life of the Block 9 podcast. So there may be some bits where we just tell you a bit more about what we do in our day-to-day where you don't know already. So Andy, Carl, Heather, and Gavin, who is probably listening in, but evening to you. Thank you for your company tonight. So, folks, we'll be back on Saturday for the watch along, and then again in the evening. Don't you get spoilt by us,
Mike, private chat.
Oh, hang on a minute, I'm being directed down. Yes, you can. Why didn't you think of that earlier when you had your time? I don't know. Go on.
When you had your 5 minutes of fame.
Go on, Heather.
Sorry. I just wanted to obviously say about we are home on Sunday for the semi-finals. It's literally £5 a ticket. So if anyone is around to pop down, if you got under 14s, it is free. I have now ordered the flag that is on my background. So I'm going to try and get a few pictures of people with the flag, and it will be out in the stands as well to try and build the women's supported group. We are on Facebook if anyone wants to try and join, and we have this random conversation about what's going on with the girls in green.
Yeah, and at some point, as I've challenged Heather to get their own little Block 9 show during the week as well. So, predictions, guys. Yeah, thank you, Andy. Thank you, Steve. Quickly then, Carl, scoreline for Saturday.
I'm going to go for 1-0 Pepple.
Yeah, okay. Stevie Vaughan's gone with not the same. He's gone 1-1 Pepple, sorry. You can tell I'm tired. Andy, your score prediction?
2-1 to Argyle, Talai and Pepple.
And Heather, your score for the men's game and also the cup game?
Men's game, I don't know much about the other side, so I'll admit that now. But I'm going to go basic probably with the 1-0. Pepple's on the roll. If not, let Tollage if he's on the pitch again. So, and women's game it's going to be hard. Burnley is currently top of their side. So I would like to see a comfortable 2-0 clean sheet. And obviously it just depends on who's in the box, because we've got so many players that can just put it in the back of the net these days. So it's hard to pinpoint just one star player at the minute.
No, well, we're just as spoiled as that in the men's. No, well, we'll see what happens on Sunday.
I'm guessing yours is 1-0 Galloway, is it, Mike?
Well, no, because we're away. So I was gonna go 1-0 because I think we'll probably see a similar game to the last, where we'll probably give a lot of the possession, but we'll control the game. And I think I can't see Talai starting. It'd be great if he does, if he's fully fit. And obviously Rules is out. So I'm going to say we'll nick a cheeky 1-0 win on the break. Who do I think will score it? I'm going to give it to
Ashley Hammond.
I'm going to give it. No,
Ashby Hammond in goal.
I'm going to
Down from the corner.
You've jinxed it now. I'm going to give it to. I'm going to give it to Curtis. I think as he had that sniff at goal again, he's going to want to get bury another one in the back of the net. But yes, so thank you for everybody for reminding me things that I forgot about. So.
Nicky.
Yeah, and everybody, thank you for your comments as well at the end there. Great podcast, says Nicholas G. Michael Hawks also saying the same earlier, and a few others. Really appreciate it. Edgy 1-0 win. He's saying Edgerley Park for them. That's Reading. Matt Montgomery going 1-1 or 2-1 either way. Galloway hat trick, says Argo 83. You might have been smoking that grass too much tonight. He's saying Nicholas G as well. Just read that out. Andrew T and saying 3-0 Pepple hat trick. It really has turned his views on Pepple, hasn't he? But no. So, yes, that's it, folks. Let's get to bed. One more day. I can't believe how fast this week has gone. That's for sure. Look forward to Saturday and hopefully another 3 points. For all of you in the chat now, for all of you that have been listening post,